So these are what I'll be using for today's video. All-purpose, rat tail comb, shears, and a razor. And we're going to talk about these combs in a minute. And I'm referring and replying to Sally's, okay? This is part 2 of the last video you saw of how to do a quick weave pixie cut for a pixie cut. How to do a quick weave for a pixie cut. So that's what we're going to do now. I showed you guys that it was a 90s inspiration, Toni Braxton. She is the queen of the pixie cut if you really want to give her props. So we're just going to cut this down. So I do have my good old faithful water bottle right here. I'm just gonna give her one little spray over. And someone asked me when I wet the hair down for a quick, when it's a quick weave, does it loosen the glue? It shouldn't. Mine doesn't loosen. So if you glue it properly, it shouldn't loosen the glue. It should be like perfect. All right, so we're gonna do like a imaginary part right here. Now I'm doing it this way for the finger waves, guys. When I'm doing it for the shorter pixie, excuse the noise outside, it's raining and the windows are open. But when I'm doing it for the shorter pixie, I'm going to show you guys how to cut this vertically. How to layer it and stuff like that. But this is just basically for the waves that I'm gonna do. And the reason why I wet also is that the hair doesn't fly all around and get all over me. So that's another reason why I wet the hair, guys. So I'm just gonna cut around the ear. I always pull away from the spot that I'm cutting in. But we're getting this together so we can do the waves. Right? And this is not a wig for anyone. This is just basically done to my mannequin's head. So it's customized to the mannequin. So when I want it to not really thin out, I will use my shears, and that's why I drag, because it keeps the fullness but still makes it wispy like the razor. See that? All right, so we're not gonna cut it down too much, guys, because like I already said, we're gonna be doing finger waves. like a dry finger wave. I'm not gonna do the ones that stay. I wanna do the soft ones. So that's what I'm aiming for this style. All right, so now that we got the back together, I'm gonna cut this down a little bit because you know this is definitely too long for a pixie. So I'm actually going to show you guys how to do a vertical cut. So since we're gonna do layered cut vertically, I'm gonna just not continue with the front. We're gonna stay onto the back. So this is the back, guys. So this is all where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna, this is basically my guideline. So what I want the rest of the hair to do is be lined up with basically this piece. So this is basically where I want this piece. Let me turn it sideways. So this piece right here, I want this piece to basically be the same length. So you see where I'm going with this, guys? So this is why, this is how we're gonna cut this vertically. So if you guys get it, like if this was hair school, you will basically see what I'm talking about. So this would be your guideline down here, and right here will be where you want this piece, everything to match up to this length. So the higher you go with it, the shorter it will be. But if I just brought it out to right here, we will still have the length out to here. The higher I bring it, the guideline, the shorter it will be to match up with this. All right, if you guys got that part. So this is also a cute style also, guys. If you wanted it to leave it this length and then like put tight curls or put some type of curl up in here, that's also cute, but we're gonna do the short pixie curl style. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in vertically to get this a little bit shorter. What I do first, and I'll go in, of course, if this was a client, I would be able to put her head to be bent down, but this is my guideline. I go out to the front and I just take some out like this, and I keep going up. Turn it sideways so you guys can see. So that's my guideline right there. Do the same thing, just move over a little bit, come out to my guideline. Cut the extras off. So you see where this is going, y'all? So we just continue to follow the guideline. Guideline, guideline. Be careful because you will cut your fingers. So you see how it's going, but we still have the length like right here, but in here is actually not that long. I'm gonna go up a little bit more in the layer, but you guys see where I'm going with this. Now my guideline could be like right at the top right there and still at the bottom. So once you grab your guideline, you can just go in and cut because you know where your guideline is. I'm just going in, cleaning up a little, moving over to the other side. So I'm going to start at the bottom for you new people that are trying to learn how to cut. Your guideline starts at the shortest piece that you desire, There's my guideline right in there. And I'll just go out a little bit at the top and then cut. So you see, guys, how we still have that line right there, meaning we didn't go all the way up. Guideline is right there. So you guys see? So we're gonna take that line out. That's when you can use your razor and take that line out. But for 90s trend hairdos, that line used to actually stay, and we used to, not really stay, but it used to be layered really nice, but it used to still be full on top, if that makes sense. Now this is where I pull it up so I can get the top shorter. We're all the same length as this piece. And that's another reason why I wet the hair, is because it doesn't slip. When you grab it and it's damp, it actually stays. But I like to cut dry also. I don't always just cut wet. And I'll come in right here with my razor, clean that out. You could also go in with your trimmers right there with a guard on it. And the water actually makes you see the layers that you already made. So what I'm gonna do is just continue on this side to get it to this side. Guideline. You have to know where your guideline is. Guideline's at the top also. And I'm going in vertically, I'm not going across horizontally. So it won't be so blunt. You don't have like this blunt cut. It's wispy. Okay, so basically how you measure where you're gonna do like the front part of the hair is right by the eyebrow. So her eyebrow is right here, or the edge of her eye, I should say. So that's where we're gonna cut it. So right there is where it will be really short. And I go under to leave the length on top and shorten the bottom because I want the length and the fullness on top. So just to define that right there is a little longer, we just made that a little shorter. This is how I would do a pixie cut. Of course, on a real model, it will be more, you know, but this is just to give you guys the idea. Definitely could go shorter on the bangs, definitely. And that's all just from my shears alone. No razor. Shears alone, guys. But you can always go in with your razor after. Get the little heavy sides, you know. That's how you do a trendy 90s style, Toni Braxton 90s cut. So handlers, I've decided that this is just going to be cut in class, and I'll come back in a part 3 video of how I'm going to style this baby. Now, if you want to know of any of the products or supplies that I used to accomplish this quick weave before I cut it, it's in part 1. Just go back on my channel and you'll see it. It's the video before the last. As a matter of fact, I will post it right below so it can be your next video. And guys, if you watch the first video, part 1, you'll see the inspiration of the 90s trend Toni Braxton pixie cut that I chose to use for my inspiration. I'm actually going to do another video where I cut this down even shorter. I might even use my buzzer cut, and we're still going to try it with the matching cut. So this style is very versatile. So I want you guys to stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like this video, guys. Love you. Mwah.